good morning Madonna and all you other superstars that have been doing good things for children all around the world. And Madonna, I take my hat off to you for the 30 charities that you have for helping children. And now we'd like to help you and really help you. You see, I'm the executive sponsor for 2020 Live Aid benefit concerts to rescue children subjected to sex crimes throughout Africa and also here in Perth, which is the paedophile capital of the world. And you can learn about that on our videos. But listen, we have a wonderful vision. Our vision is to create a happy future for our children and for our children's children, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, without prejudice, and that's from all walks of life. But to do this, we need to address serious problems out there, like what you're dealing with for the children: education, training, employment, and also infrastructure, because I'm actually a world-leading sustainability expert. I design the sustainable villages in paradise for repatriating Indigenous peoples back into the beautiful, pristine, remote wilderness areas of paradise, and particularly throughout the African nations like where you are today. Also, I design the sustainable cities in paradise for relocating decent, good-hearted people from all around the world into these sustainable cities that have zero emissions, because we don't use automobiles or fossil fuels. So listen, I just want to share a few secrets that we have. The 2020 Live Aid music concerts, we're going right across all the television networks like what Bob Geldof did, but we also specialise in virtual reality, and we've spent 18 years on this project. But we have this amphitheatre. It's a guitar shape, it's got a perfect amount of bush on the western ridge to prevent echo bounce, so it produces this majestic 3D surround sound that gives humans the ability. It's so clear that we've got the hearing abilities of an owl. An owl can hear a mouse walking at 100 metres. So it gives us that clarity of sound. It's beautiful sound, and this gives us the edge over all the other people moving into virtual reality like Snoop Dogg and Coldplay and these people. They're way behind us. So we know that we can live stream each of these virtual reality music concerts to 100 million fans, a minimum of 100 million fans, because we want to invite people like yourself, or Alicia Keys, George Benson, Stevie Wonder, for the opening concert. There's 36 concerts, 6 concerts per weekend. Friday night, Saturday morning 11, afternoon 3 p.m, 7 p.m, same on Sunday. So, and that's over a period of 6 weeks. So each concert will have at least 100 million people watching and live streaming, and they'll be wearing their virtual reality headsets. And we can actually put you on the stage, and they can't tell the difference between whether they're on that stage with you or not on the stage with you, because it's high resolution, full immersive virtual reality, augmented reality technologies. And we have a headset. In the headset we have, it's a custom designed headset, we have the computer, and because it's a computer we can capture everything, all the experience, as well as you can go up into the drone looking down on the concert venue in virtual reality. You can check out all the backup singers, backup dancers, and even go online to check out their Facebook or whatever. So yeah, and also the orchestra. You can also, with the AR, augmented reality, go into the audience, move around and find your friends. That's pretty cool, eh? So with 100 million fans paying $30 for a 2-hour concert, they can't tell the difference between being there and not being there. It's so real, it's beyond reality. And also it's the majestic 3D surround sound that this amphitheatre produces that gives us the edge over everyone else. Most amazing experience. Check out virtual reality. Barbershop. Right, check that one out. Yeah. barbershop, virtual reality, 3D, and you'll love it. That's what we'll be using. Now, 100 million fans at $30 a concert, that's $3 billion per concert. That's $18 billion per weekend for 6 concerts, and for 6 weekends, that's 36 times $3 billion. It's $108 billion that we're going to be used for these child rescue centres throughout Africa and all around the world. And this is what we want to share with you, and we're happy to share this money for your charity, support your charities, because you're a wonderful person. I didn't realise you did 30 charities, man, that's awesome. And because everything we do is for the children, but it's infrastructure we specialise in. But we're live streaming these virtual reality music concerts. We have a problem here in Perth where we have 2,600 little children under the age of 12 who are homeless. The instruction I've been given by Passages, who works as the first point of call for the children, they said, look, Hemi, just get them off the streets. You know, so we've tried getting corporate leasing of the 300 empty units we have here in Maylands, owned by BGC, but they wouldn't give us the contract. We had to buy virtually the whole company under a portfolio with 3,000 properties, but they want $500 million for that. We don't have that. So listen, this is what we're doing. Look there, see that big circus tent? Right, that's what we're hiring for our Live Aid concerts. But we want to put that up down in the front of Perth City in the Supreme Court Gardens. And we've got a problem with the government not wanting to give it to us because there's a lot of very, very high profile accommodation down there for the rich. So they don't want homeless children coming into that area, you see. But that particular tent, what we're able to do with it, because I'm from the military, from the Royal New Zealand Air Force, and we moved the army around the world, that big circus tent there, we can put all the camp stretchers in and give them sleeping bags and the pillow and put their little tag on it to the homeless children. So this is like, it's a child safety centre. If they ever end up homeless for any reason, they just come straight to the front of the city. Once they're in the city, we have CCTV cameras. Police can monitor that little child and make sure that a paedophile doesn't intercept, because we've got thousands of paedophiles here. This is the paedophile capital of the world, Perth, and the worst paedophiles are up in politics, and they're judges, politicians, and these members of the secret societies like Illuminati, Skulls and Bones, and Freemasons. They're paedophiles in these organisations, and the politicians are in there, and the judges and the police. And that's what we're up against. So they're going to do everything they can to stop us putting the centre up down the front of the city. Now those, you see the shipping containers there, we use them for putting the sleeping bags and everything, the camp stretchers. We fold them up during the day so we've got the space inside that big circus tent for them to move around. So that's important. And around the outside, because we need it, the children, we don't want people to know what we're doing in there. So if you have a look there, there's the fence, the big fence. It goes right around the whole compound. And then inside the compound, we're having, see that marquee there? Right, that one will be for the school. When we get them off the streets, put them straight into the school next day. A lot of them are with their parents, they're Aboriginal. They've fled the home because it's getting bashed up, domestic violence and all that, drug related, alcohol related. They flee to the front of the city with us. We give them the accommodation, we give them the beds, and they sleep in there until we can relocate them out into the communities where they're safe. Right? And the husbands get really nasty in a lot of cases, and they're hunting down there. The wife want to kill her and all these sort of things, but no, that's meth. So in the compound we'll also have, with the fence around it, in there we'll have all the charities, World Vision and all those that look after children, and so that way that we get the children in there, they're safe. Once they're there with them bedding and all that, get them straight into the school next day, so they make friends. There'll be a playground in there, inside and outside, rest areas, a health centre for the parents as well. And as you see, we'll have other gazebos in there, for arts and crafts and things, and these sort of gazebos there as well. So this is the concept. It's called a child safety centre. It's really a rescue centre for children to stop them getting intercepted by the paedophiles and these kidnappers that use them for sex slaves, and they drug them. A problem we got here with a lot of the children, the government has set up what we call drug dens, and they're financed by the governments, given to African gangsters and drug dealers. They bring it in from throughout Africa. Some of them have done former child soldiers. They're really cruel, and they're drugging. They've got these other what we call street children that are drawing them onto the drugs, drawing them into these drug dens, which are actually called traps, and they're drugging these little girls, Aboriginal girls, drugging them with the date rub drug, and they're pack raping them, for goodness sake. This is what they're doing. They're pack raping them, and they're on that darn meth. And when they're coming down, I come from a gang background, gang family. And what they do in these darn gangs is when they pack rape them, they like to show off. They do real nasty things to whoever they're raping. They bash them, they beat them, they ram bottles into them and sticks and dildos, and they get a kick out of doing this cool stuff to these little girls. And these little girls come out suicidal, or they end up as crack and coke junkies, getting ejected with this darn meth. And they're slaves. And we'll get them out of them. But the way to do it is prevention is the cure, because the problem is the police. Here in Australia, 95% of the drug trafficking and distribution is done by the police, and they're as corrupt as. And we're going to blow the lid on it with all the international drug cartels and the outlaw motorcycle gangs jumping to our side to expose what really is happening here. But our concern is these little children. We need to intercept them and notify all the schools that if you do ever end up homeless for any reason, just come to the front of the city or ring the police. That might be a bit dangerous. We can't trust the dogs, but we're going to set up emergency vehicles around the city where our consultants can just be dispatched and pick the children up from wherever they are and their parents if they're in danger, and then bring them to the front of the city. Once they're in the front of the city, they'll be looked after by all the charities, by our team. We've got a very, very high profile team of Maori corporate leaders coming in to take over my company and run this while I go up and oversee the construction of the resort that we're building for the fans to stay in over the entire weekend. It's a miniature sustainable city with 10 compact communities. So I won't go into that, but look, we'd like to invite you over here to have you get involved. And what we have is this wonderful program here, right? See that? It's called the Happy Training Curriculum. That's what we put the children through. We help them to find their purpose for living, their goal in life, and then we do a 10-point plan with them. We look at what it is, whether they believe they can attain it. Also, what their starting point is. There might be only 6. And then we look at the obstacles, challenges they have. And when we see those challenges, then we bring in sponsors to take care of those challenges. And then we also put down the extra education they've got to take in to reach this goal, the people and organisations they need to be involved with, and then we link them to those organisations to sponsor the child. From as younger age as 6, if she wants to be a surgeon, well, we get the Fiona Stanley Hospital to sponsor the child and have all their staff follow the child's journey. Isn't that beautiful? And then they'll provide, donate money to get the child out of the slum or the low income area they're in. And so the whole hospital will be in behind this. And they'll provide mobile phones and all the technologies, laptops and stuff for that little child. So we're linking them. And this is what the Happy Training Curriculum is about. Now, and then we have sponsors like yourself, and we get you to buy the Happy Training Curriculum license agreement and give it to donate it to your charity. Your charity will then, as the Happy Training curriculum is sold all around the world off an automated website, it's $600, right? If they're impoverished, it's free. And our philanthropists will pay for that, their program. So out of that, the sponsor, if it's you, you'll get a maximum of $6 million per year for the $1 million license agreement that you give to the children under what we call a vested trust, right? There's 21 of them, a vested trust, or your charity, and then they get a maximum of $285,000 per year, right? $285,000 per year. Goes into the vested trust, but the vested trust owns the personal learning network that we set up for them. The personal learning network is set up as a PTY limited company under what we call ASIC, that's Australian Securities and Investment Commission, and it's a legal entity. The vested trust is a legal entity with the 21 shareholders, which are the 21 children we put in, and they receive the $5 million capped income. It's non-taxable because they're under the age of 16, and then it's divided among them. So the vested trust owns that license agreement that you buy for $1 million, and then from there they have the marketing rights, just like Dale Carnegie. I can buy the Dale Carnegie franchise or license agreement and train people in the Dale Carnegie professional speaking. So this is the same sort of thing, and it's a legal entity. It has a vested trust, tax-free dollars for the children, and they got to have also their parents' consent and all that sort of thing, but that's taken care of by our international lawyers. So for the $1 million investment, you get $6 million back per year, and you can put that back into your charities. And so whereas if you're putting $1 million into a charity now, you're probably not getting money back for it, but with this system and educating the children, you'll get back $6 million a year. We cap it at $6 million because anything over that goes to our children's charity. And the $1 million, by the way, for the actual franchise, that comes to me, but that goes back to the children's charities because I'm not interested in profiting from the children. This is for the children. So it goes back, everything will be transparent, all my profiles, corporate profiles, Fortune 500 profiling, wealth profiling will be online, fully transparent. And also you'll be able to track with the blockchain technology where the money comes in and it goes out, and it's distributed by what we call profit point of sale transactions. So when the $600 comes in paying for a little child, the 10% automatically goes to the vested trust, right? And then another 10%, I'll show you here. So here's the breakdown here. 10% on the first one goes to the children, to the vested trust. And then the next one goes to the happy coach. That might be one of your coaches, but they have to be trained by us. They have to go through the program first, and then they are qualified to actually teach. So, and then we have the sponsor, that's that one there. I can send you this document, which is a lot easier, but the sponsor gets 10%, all right, so that's $60 for every $600 paid for the Happy Training curriculum, maximum of $6 million a year, and you can do whatever you like with it. But at the point of sale, that's transferred directly into your bank account, it doesn't come to ours, we don't know about it. Also, there we have the tax department. But what we do with the tax here in Australia, you don't have to pay tax at the end of the year, so we put it into the tax account, and just sitting there, right? Every time there's $1 million comes in, we buy one of these Happy Training curriculum license agreements, and then we become the sponsor. We pick up the $6 million, and we give back to children, right? Just really need the money. My money is coming from sustainability projects, the development of sustainable cities, sustainable villages. I don't need that money. I won't go back to the children, right? Back to the children's charities or to wonderful people like yourself. Now, my corporation there will also take 10%, right? But that's for our people. And we share the money in that corporation with the people who become involved with us, and we share it. Right? It's done on this Japanese system of everybody has equal shares, no one has more than the other, even the CEO. So, and then the other 10% there that makes up 100%, goes to children's charities. How good's that, eh? And people can follow me. You know, $1 million investment. It took me 20 years to develop this program, by the way. And now, once we do that 10-point plan with the child, we know where they're going. We hook them up with the sponsors and whatnot. And then, if they graduate, they got guaranteed employment at the age of 16, right? With our companies that do the rapid mass production of sustainable villages in paradise and sustainable cities in paradise. And there's a lot of work to be done on those projects, fascinating work. So we're not only educating them in sustainability, social, cultural, ecological and economic sustainability, and how to build these precincts, but we're giving them employment, and it's under what we call a lifetime cradle to grave employment and habitation contract, giving them the rights to live, work and play in one of these sustainable villages in paradise or sustainable cities in paradise. They're going to be rolled out at the end of next year, and that's where I get my money. So, but otherwise, you know, this 108 billion that we're going to generate from the 2020 Live Aid concerts, that's all going back to the children, man. I'm cool with that. And I'm the 100% shareholder, by the way. I don't want the money, I don't need the money. You know, I get more joy seeing the happiness in a child after they've done the happy training curriculum. They know where they're going in life, they've got their 10-point plan. And we also do what we call a fast track, look at the 9 different areas of their lives for the next 12 months. You know, and that's got to do with relationships, and other areas for helping the community, and other areas for, you know, doing business or whatever. Other areas is in self-improvement, right? Family life, all these sort of things in that 9 different areas. So we get the little child right, and we follow their journey, and their coach that we allocate for the child will look after that child. And the best ones are actually the primary school teachers who already know the parents, so we don't need to get involved. We train the primary school teachers. The primary school teachers, they know what's happening to the child, and they can tell with that child when that child's been raped. The countenance of the child is different. And when you look at our Nick Natanui video, he went to Africa to bring awareness to people of what's happening to the children in Africa, being raped, being used for sex slaves, and that rotten down female genital mutilation. We're going to bring a halt to that, and we can do that with this Live Aid music concerts. And with 108 billion, you put a lot of pressure on governments, right? And with 2 billion people following us, we put a lot of political pressure on to force these governments out of power and put decent governments into power as part of the plan. So listen, I'd really like for you to consider coming over here as soon as possible. Put your name to our fantastic project for the child safety centres to be duplicated all around the world. We'll pressure the governments to let us set these precincts up at the front of the city, and we've got a problem here with this government, but we're trashing them. We're trashing them on social media. You watch what we do with them, and you can follow us. So can you please contact me, and I'm on Famous Mick Jagger. Right, that's pretty easy to remember, isn't it? Famous Mick Jagger at gmail.com, and let us know. And look, we'd really like to have you support this project, and we'd like to help you also to overcome your greatest frustrations and challenges that you have in working with the children throughout Africa. They're beautiful people in Africa. I love them. And we'll help you to solve your problems, and if you come over here and help us, you can actually solve our problems too. So look, really love to meet you, really love to have you on board, and anybody else that you know. I am the Jekyll and Hyde of sustainability. You might want to check out on my YouTube channel. It's called Notorious Mick Jagger, because that's actually my name from the age of 7. Right, that was my name, and I do not have a criminal record. I've never been to jail, but watch that video, that first one, or the first 7 there. On just go to YouTube, Notorious Mick Jagger. That's me, and that's me in the alleyway too, by the way. So check out that video, and we'd love to have you on our team, because at the end of the day, we've got these darn politicians out here in Australia, and that's what we're going to do. But we're going to capitalise on everything by focusing on the children all the time, on our beautiful, wonderful vision to create a happy future for our children and for our children's children, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, from all walks of life, without prejudice. Thank you, Madonna. Hope to hear from you soon.